Hey everyone, today we are driving through Red Lodge, Montana, and we're going to check out all the devastation and damage that Rock Creek caused less than 2 months ago when it flooded its banks, destroying buildings, washing out the road in dozens of locations. We're going to stop and look at all of that. Right here, the road is a total mess because it was all underwater not too long ago. And these buildings to my left, we're gonna turn around and get a good look at them. The river just completely smashed them. Every room of the buildings is just full of sticks. It looks like the beaver's house. We're gonna go look at that on the way back. You can see to my left, the railing's all destroyed. Just let me flip around up here. We'll get a look at that. Then we'll head up the mountain and take a look at all the washouts. All right, finally a good place to turn around. You can see in front of me there's a lot of damage. We're going across this bridge, which was completely underwater. And now we're just gonna get out right here and look around. Then we'll head back. All right, just stepped out of the vehicle. You can see right here next to the bridge, all had to be repaired. It just ripped an entire new riverbank, destroyed this retaining wall. You can see the railing completely bent in. A lot of damage. On the other side of the road, gonna run over there. Guardrail here is all taken away, destroyed. Destroyed all this next to this new house. You know all these yards must have flooded. Now down to the real damage. All right, everyone, from the evidence, this river definitely went up all over this whole place. Just take a look right here. They're having to put all new baffle rocks, rebuilding the entire road after it was destroyed. You can see right here to the right, this guardrail is all smashed, sucked down into the river. The concrete retaining wall slipping, falling into the river. And take a look at this building with the green roof. This looks like the most damage we've seen all over this place. You see the drain pipe is up out of the ground. Just take a look inside this building. Just take a look inside this building. Zoom in a little bit. Take a look at all this debris throughout this entire building. Slipped off the foundation in a few spots. And take a look at the next few houses. Their entire yard is just full of gravel. You see that? The whole place used to be green grass. There's so much sediment and stuff the river just left all over the place throughout that entire motel complex. This person's yard. And I assume all this was cleaned up because I see the fence is a little bit mangled. And then at this point, there definitely was flooding, but the debris flow doesn't look like it got much farther. All right, the road here is still blocked off, and they're doing construction down there. See all that construction? Is that related to it? Probably. Here's a lot of water they're pumping out of the ditch they're working in. That's what's causing all these puddles. I'm not seeing any sediment around here, but this definitely was underwater. Yep, I can see all brand new retaining walls to my left. Those houses on the other side of the creek. Oh, a lot of wild turkeys to the left. And here's a view from the other side of that construction where they're pumping out the ditch because the water table's so high. All right, we're gonna head back up into the mountains where most of the washouts occurred. See, there's already some beautiful fall colors happening here. Looks like they're going to be doing more pavement. They're sweeping all the leaves out of the street. That's kind of a shame that that building with the green roof got destroyed. That looks like it used to be really beautiful. Now we're gonna head up into the mountains where it was just wreaking havoc and where it probably got a good amount of that sediment. This guardrail's all smashed, sucked down into the river. The concrete retaining wall slipping, falling into the river. And this is going to be a time lapse heading up into the mountain. Check out the sign, everyone. Kind of excited about that. It says Beartooth Pass is open. It was closed yesterday for a snowstorm. I wonder if there's still snow up there. There probably will be. That's exciting. I thought we were going to drive up here today and have to come all the way back this way. But it's clear sailing right into Yellowstone. East Side Road. This bridge was washed out during the storms. See, everything here is brand new fill. Everything got taken away. Very tight bridge. Doesn't look like they're done yet as far as guardrails. That's why they still got all the cones set up. And it looks like they may have been able to put the same bridge back into place. A lot of that's not new. Alright everyone, we just made it up to another washout. This bridge is missing. Let's get out for a moment and see what happened. Yep, the bridge is gone. Took the pavement and everything with it. I see they made another road here to get a very rugged vehicle across. That looks like they're underground utilities that probably went onto the bridge. They spliced them and then they put them up there temporarily while everyone probably uses another bridge. They're just utilities. But this bridge is nowhere to be seen. Completely gone. Jump on down there and show a little bit. This is where the road was. You can see the asphalt, nothing else. The water is just beautiful, so clean. Massive amount of erosion here as the river ripped a new bank, depositing a whole bunch of rocks over here. So as it digs over here, the forest will start growing back on that side. Beautiful view here. You can see a while back that was a forest fire. That's why there's so many skeleton trees. Alright everyone, here's another place where it washed out the road and they had to repave it. Let's hop out and see what it looks like on the other side of that barrier. Guardrails missing. thrown off to the side up there. They've completely rebuilt it. It looks like they're just waiting to get a new guardrail in. Look at that giant pile of debris. I see a massive tree stump in there. Uprooted trees all along the riverbank, as far as the eye can see. If you look down here, a lot more uprooted trees. And a culvert pipe. And that culvert pipe starts right here. And there's a good trickle of water going through it. This was definitely not replaced. Nice cool breeze coming from here. All right, everyone, we just came up to the next washout. Caused a lot of damage further upstream here, I see. We crossed a bridge a few miles back where the river went under the road. You see right here where it took out the entire road. Had to replace it. There's a lot of sediment over here on the other side. We're gonna cross over there in just a moment and see it. This looks like just fill from the road. Yeah, looking around, it certainly flooded all these woods over here, but it didn't push any sediment. They've already rebuilt it now, at least temporarily. Maybe they'll build a bigger wall once they get all the other damage accounted for. But it looks like there's all kinds of rocks back there thrown. There may have been a collapse on the mountain. Lots of trees all over the place. You see, they went inside the riverbed with excavators, probably to dredge it out a little bit. It may have deposited enough rocks here to make the riverbed not that deep, making it easier to happen. You can see they definitely did some moving around of the rocks with an excavator. Farther up here, you can see a much bigger washout. It took a whole bunch of that hill with it. And I want to come over here and walk through the woods just for a moment to try to get a better shot at what I'm seeing over here. Oh, and there's even someone's house right there that I can see faintly through the trees. So obviously right here you can see all the branches and rocks thrown here by the high water levels. Where I'm standing right now probably had neck deep water. Look at all this debris thrown up here. Uprooted trees here. I'm just wondering where all this stuff came from. There must have been a large gush of water coming down the mountain. Just went through all this. Crystal clear water though. Great place to take a swim. I'm cutting back to the road now. Many piles of debris to walk over. Crushed down trees that are starting to straighten themselves back out. Some places have multiple feet of sand, which wasn't here before, burying all the bases of the tree trunks. Here we are coming up to the next washout. Guardrail's a bit mangled here. Just pull over for a moment. There's one of the smashed guardrails they threw over there until it can be disposed of. Probably came from here. The river's a lot further away here. You see they rebuilt it. But just take a look at all the trees. The amount of trees and debris is the most I've ever seen. Let's walk on down here. They built another wall right here with heavy machinery. It looks like they may have dredged it out to make it deeper. after it filled itself in. Just take a look at all that. Like in the beginning of the video, this is what you saw all through that building earlier. Just thrown through all the rooms. You can see how high the water got. Like this tree here, you see at the base of it, where the soil is probably 4 feet underneath that. It threw like 4 feet of sediment there. Maybe this eroded some of it, but I think excavators are responsible for getting a lot of this stuff out and piled back up here. Wow. All right, everyone. Less than a minute up the road. Here we are at another barrier they set up. Let's see how bad the damage is around here. Let's pull into this parking space. The river itself doesn't look that bad. Here we are. Yeah, this is a sharp corner. It did a lot, it looks like. All this pavement in front of me is brand new. Yeah, it looks like they had a lot to do here. A lot of uprooted trees, damaged trees. Beautiful whitewater rapids too. Here's another washout that's only about 100 feet past the last one. Couldn't see it through the tree lines. It makes a couple quick corners. Yeah, and here's another one right after it. Let's pull over and see what happened here. So it looks like they're just waiting on guardrails. They really should do something else here. This looks like it would erode really fast. I'm sure they're not done though. Take a look at all the trees just thrown here up on the banks. They definitely did some excavating down here. A lot of the river also cut through there. So it looks like maybe it used to flow there more commonly, but it kind of moved way closer to the road. Now, if we go for a walk, only 50 feet in the other direction, here's another washout. And the one we stopped at last is another 100 feet around the corner as the river goes whoop and right back to the road again. I don't see any grass seed or anything. A lot of times a slope like this, they would have thrown some grass seed down in there. The rocks are beautiful around here. They're all pure white. About 300 feet further up the road, here's another little washout. Not much to see there. It's a little bit more of the same. But the other side of the road, it looks like they may have been grabbing some fill from there. There's no evidence the water got up anywhere near that. Or I guess some of the hill could have slid a little bit also. Road work ahead. It's just one thing after another. Here we are. They moved the whole road over for some reason. Maybe in preparation of something. I want to get out here. I think there might be a really big sheer drop, and they're afraid it might let loose. That might be why they moved all that over. Yes, so you see here, for this maybe 500-foot stretch, they added a brand new lane, and they're kind of abandoning this one. I'm thinking it's because the river is so close to the road now, creating a dangerous cliff that during a rainstorm could just let loose. So that's why all this interruption. They're moving the road there onto that side to get it away from the river. So they don't want you driving in this lane, and check out why. It's a gigantic cliff that the river is slowly eroding here. Trying to get a better shot. Maybe if I walk down, you'll be able to see a little bit more. You see, before this incident happened, you see how close the lane was. I'd be walking in traffic right now if they hadn't moved it. Maybe we'll get a better shot here somewhere. I'm sure you get the picture. There's a thin tree line here, but the river's eroding underneath it all. There could be a landslide here at any time. Alright everyone, I just backtracked a little bit because I'm seeing if there's any way we can get on to it looks like it may be an off-road or ATV trail, something up here. I'm not sure if it'll be passable or not, but maybe we can get a little bit on the other side of that river. This might only be a campground though. Alright everyone, so now we're on the other side of the river, not the main road. It says there's a bridge out, so we're going to see how far we can go. But we're definitely going to go back over on the other side later on. Going through some beautiful forest. We got some beautiful bright yellow trees up ahead. Alright everyone, the road is open today. Yesterday these gates were shut and we had to turn around because of a snowstorm. I'm hoping we still see a little bit of snow up here, but it might all be melted. And 300 feet says there's going to be a hairpin turn. Here we are. Look how beautiful that is down there. Straight ahead, that mountain's covered in snow. Lots of beautiful orange fall foliage. Yesterday, the snow was a lot more. I'd say 90% of what was on these mountains yesterday has already melted. Because today it's 57 right now. Bottom of the mountain when we started, it was almost 70. We're getting cold fast. On a mountain like this, it's always fun to play the game. Who can predict what temperature it'll be when we get to the top? I'm gonna say it'll be 48, but I also don't know how high this is gonna keep climbing. Take a look at all this. There's a ton of erosion here. By the looks of it, it probably came down into the road. By the looks of the grass, probably a few years ago. I want to get out for a moment to just take a look at the culvert pipe they got here. There was also probably a forest fire looking around too. Alright everyone, I just stepped out and they definitely had to dig this out with excavators. That's what pushed all this over to the sides. So much rock coming down. And there's the road. We'll be up there pretty soon. I see all kinds of landslides. And that was probably a forest fire at some point. All those dead trees. Take a look at this awesome trash rack. That is so cool. The trash all gets stuck here. Trash meaning rocks and debris. And then the culvert is much smaller down there. So it looks like it comes in and down. How exactly? I think I can fit through there. Let's try to get down inside here. Carefully. Lowering my feet. I'm fitting right down inside here. Oh wow, there is a lot of debris still on it. This trash rack goes quite a ways. Wow. I just barely fit out of here. It's a good thing I lost some weight. I weigh 35 pounds less than I did in the spring. Yeah, so this trash rack goes quite a bit underneath here too. It's getting ready for them to come out with excavators again. Yeah, so probably most likely when that did occur, it probably crossed the road. And look where the culvert comes out. Way down there. I just have to hike down there and see what kind of culvert we have. I'm creating a little rock slide of my own, making my way down to this culvert. Being very careful. It'll be much easier going up because I'll be doing it on all fours. Yes, over there is where a lot of debris came out too. And I see another giant culvert there, which I think is just for the drainage ditch where all that water would go when the trash rack gets filled up. You hear it going. Really fast moving water here. Not as fast as I would have expected. Still catching my breath. Yes, the other culvert is right here in the drainage ditch. And most of this is also covered. I bet that trash rack, more than half of it's probably covered. It's also causing some damage to the roadway. Yeah, this thing is so filled in. That's a pretty big culvert coming out the other side. So there's a lot of stuff inside that culvert. Definitely not the size pipe I saw. Nope. It's this one really, really big pipe. Let's take a look in there. Never seen anything like this before on a pipe. Yeah, look how big this thing is. Definitely a massive amount of its capacity blocked down there. It's a big old pipe. All right, so now we're gonna see what we can see walking in the other side. I got my big high boots on right now, and there's not much flow. And I'm assuming there's baffles in there. It might just be water falling from one pipe into a structure into another pipe. If that's the case, hopefully it is a ladder. Otherwise, we're just gonna walk up until that point. I got my headlamp on. I got my camera light. Worst case scenario, I will get out my cell phone on the way back. So here's the backup plan in case that trash rack fills up. Here it is. You can see the road's already getting destroyed. Only a small portion of the rack is open. This thing goes back so far. That's a pretty big pipe down there. You can barely see the opening. It's filled up so much. We're gonna quickly walk inside this pipe, which is completely dried up. Then we're gonna make our way down this treacherous hill for the second time. Because I already went down there with sneakers just to see what kind of pipe it was. It is a reinforced concrete box culvert. Very, very deep in the ground. So I'm assuming it has a few steps inside the pipe, inside structures. And I'm hoping we don't come across a big angry grizzly bear in there. I do have bear spray on me. I should probably start carrying it. Alright, let's try to get up in this without falling. This is very steep here. Probably like a 70-degree angle. I'm gonna throw my camera up here first, then I'll step in. That actually wasn't that difficult to get up. So this pipe is a little bit uncomfortable. Just gonna have to take it easy. Maybe take a break down here at the end. Just wanted to show you how much of its capacity is cut. And how much of the capacity is cut. The majority of this trash rack is blocked. Yup. I say this whole thing has to just be pulled off to be able to properly reseed it and fix the road. Now we're on our way back out. This wasn't as hard to get up into as I thought. I was just worried without my hands free. If my feet lost traction, I would have slid and fell. Even got some iron oxidizing bacteria stuck in the little holes from the water they probably collected during the last rainfall a couple days ago. Alright. I sat my butt in water by accident. Literally forgot it was there. I'm just sliding my butt along this. I'm wearing pretty tough jeans. That paint wouldn't rip through those. It's not like that sharp lead-based paint we often find inside abandoned buildings. That stuff will cut you up so bad if you fall against it. And I'm not telling you that from experience. I've just touched it with my hands just to see how sharp it was. Slowly getting my way down here, across all these loose rocks. I highly doubt a bear would be in one of these anyways, especially with moving water. So here's where it's coming out. A good 100, 150 feet maybe. But as you can see, it's not rushing out of here like I would have expected. Either it's just very little water and the culvert floor is rough enough, but I think there's a baffle in there. I can hear a whooshing noise, and you can see in the current it's not consistent. There may be some kind of baffle in here or steps. All right, it's a little scary. This is my first culvert explore in Montana. Let's get my headlight on. It's kind of like a spotlight all the way to the end. I do see light at the end, so there might not be steps in here at all. A lot of rocks though. I like the water trickling along the ceiling. We got some rebar showing, and look how shiny it is. It's really shiny, because as these rocks tumble by, it's acting as sandpaper, keeping it from rusting. But that's also what wore down the concrete to expose the rebar. At some point, they may have to redirect this water and pour a new floor if they get to it in time. It's very cold and refreshing in here. That's awesome. Because I'm sweating just from walking around on those steep hills out there. It's not a very hot day, but walking on rough terrain makes me sweat very quickly. Okay, so all these obstructions in here, this is what's causing the whoosh, whoosh. Yes. And I believe I see the trash rack up there. The reason you're not seeing direct sunlight is because most of the trash rack is blocked. You know, it has to come up over the grate back in and down to the pipe. So it's just a steep culvert. Thankfully, it's not a corrugated culvert. That would have been much steeper. You can see all the rebar here. And I don't think that was by design. Take a look at the water trickling across the ceiling. That's pretty cool. Hey, look at this. We're more than halfway. Awesome. All right, we're continuing. It's very pretty in here too. It's not a scary culvert. Unless there was some rain in the forecast. Then it'd be kind of scary. Don't want to be in here during a flash flood. Look at the ceiling dripping like crazy. Okay, everyone, I have to do it. I am going to get absolutely soaked in here like a shower, but I have to show you what's up here, then I'll quickly walk back out. I don't think we're getting out through the grate. I just don't think I'm going to be able to climb up there. Here we go. I'm getting soaked. It's a freezing cold shower. Whoa. That's where I just was. Wow. I probably could climb out of here, but this is probably slippery and I don't want to hurt myself. So yes, more than half of the grate is completely blocked with rocks. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Whoa. I'm definitely not sweating anymore. I'm actually happy. That was totally worth it. Awesome. I was debating on whether or not I was going to go in here, but I'm happy I did. That was one big old blockage. Finally back out. Whoa, slippery towards the end. Slime like sunlight. All right, I'm pretty damp, but I'm not soaked at all. Well, it depends who you are. I'm not drenched, but I am pretty wet. My hat saved me a bunch of it. Now we got a big hill to climb back up. All right, now we got our journey back up to the top. Look at all the water here. There's a lot of water trickling through this hill. It's a pretty rocky hill, so the chance is probably pretty minimum. There's a jumping spider. But this hill could get pushed out from a moderate rainfall from beneath. Who knows what kind of voids and cavities could be in a hill that's leaking like this. Who knows? But that makes sense why there's consistent dripping from cracks on this end. But all that water I was in on the end, that was just from it being blocked and not being able to go in on the bottom. It's dropping in from that structure. It looks like further up this road there was also some more water damage and rock slides. Looks like in the past here they spread something all over the hill to prevent it from happening again. We're seeing that numerous times, and look how high up the road gets. We're about to go up well above the tree line. I'm hoping to see some snow still left over. Really steep looking down here. So many switchbacks. And that's really cool to see. You see all the piles of rocks that have been falling down here, eroding for many years. And see way in the distance over to the left of the screen, we do have snow up here. Alright everyone, so far up the mountain, it's now 45 degrees. Forget what I said at the beginning. There's a pretty big lake up here, with a river leaving it. Good amount of snow on and off. Alright everyone, so it's 43 degrees up here, not bad at all. Don't even need a jacket when this bright sun. Got a good amount of snow up here, but it's quickly melting. I can see why it would have been pretty dangerous to come up here yesterday during the snowstorm. Beartooth Pass Summit, elevation almost 11,000 feet. That's a lot. Definitely the highest elevation I've been at in my life, except on an airplane when I was 2. Now we're gonna try going down this dirt road just to see where it goes. It looks like it just goes to a parking lot. Then we'll head down the other side, occasionally stopping just to give the brakes a little chance to cool down. Since all the snow's melting, I assume it'll be great for making snowballs. Yes, it is. Awesome. Alright everyone, we're gonna try going down this dirt road now. It looks like it just goes to a parking lot though. This is a fun road. Very good. All right, here we go on our way down. Got a little sinkhole in the road. This is a very beautiful place. This is Beartooth Waterfall. It looks like there's also numerous washouts on the other side now that we're back in Wyoming. Take a look at these giant poles so the snowplow knows where to go. So right here, there's just a small culvert, but by looking at the area, it looks like the whole thing just washed out. There's also a lot more erosion damage up ahead. Here is another culvert that was replaced. And up here, you can see they added a whole bunch of spray-on grass seed. Helps with erosion, helps with bugs, prevents the birds from eating it. Yeah, it looks like they also replaced a bunch of culverts where there wasn't washouts. Yeah, see here, they did a lot of erosion control, planting of grass. Brand new road. And it looks like a fairly new bridge up ahead too. Do not stop on the bridge. And there's the nice bridge. Open range. Expect cows on the road. So we're probably gonna go over a cattle grate at some point. And you can see the patches in the road. Lots more culverts have been replaced. And the sky looks just beautiful here. Checking out a road right here that's washed out and flooding over. I'm just gonna park here in the end. I'm sure the road is still solid, but I'm gonna go on foot. I see lots of deer tracks in the mud. They like this. But this whole area of forest is flooded for some reason and the water isn't even high. Got the big high boots on. Let's see what the reason is. Yeah, this road is definitely stable. I could have drove out here. So it looks like some camping sites. Wow. Wow. Look at this wall of debris that was placed here like a giant dam. You see where the ground typically is, where the grass is? This gigantic wall of debris got stuck here against the trees, and behind it, filled up with sediment. Something's been here. Kind of looks like a cow print. That looks like a moose print. Both of those animals are around. So this blockage here caused all this to back up. So right now I'm walking about 3 feet higher than I should be. It's turned into a nice solid sandbar. And it basically redirected the river right here. It's supposed to be over here. I'm walking to see what caused it to come over here. So all of right here still, water's not supposed to be flowing here. There's a blockage somewhere of debris making it leave the riverbed. See the water pouring down right here? This is where it's supposed to be flowing, but something's changing that. So here's the riverbed. Did it just erode? Or is there a blockage? We're walking up to find out. Lots of animal tracks. Look at all this stuff. So many trees uprooted and placed all over here. I assume that's probably what's blocking the river up here, directing it elsewhere. So yeah, basically, stuff got jammed. The forest barrier all got overtaken. It's gone. There's a culvert pipe underneath there. Whether or not this was the road, I don't know. Maybe it got taken from somewhere else. So the old riverbed probably will not be used again. It's aimed this way. You can see all this rock it got from upstream on the surrounding mountains. They're all burnt to a crisp by wildfires. So none of this is supposed to be here. It's supposed to be a grassy field with a few trees. Whole thing got redirected by the storm a few months ago. I'm hoping to see a moose. I'm seeing lots of moose tracks out here. Haven't seen one yet, but it's quickly getting dark, the time they like to come out. Here's the water I walked into the area on. The water going down there and around the corner. That's what's crossing over the road I parked at. A couple more storms. If it erodes that right there, they're gonna need to move the bridge. It'll have access to the road again. All right, we're back in the campground. A lot of damage done to the road. A lot of the river's here. The water that was crossing over when we came in is over there. So this thing carved entire new paths. And like I was just saying, if this water here that was smashing against that land keeps continuing, it's gonna probably need another bridge or a whole bunch of baffles against the road to get it over here so it can continue on its way. So look at the amount of rocks it piled right here. That's like a good 8-foot drop, not including the depth of the water. Yeah, this road's still very stable. They made it really rocky. And I could see someone else drove their truck all the way down here. But this road used to go a lot further, but it's blocked by that wall of trees. All right, everyone, this is where I just walked a couple minutes ago, and this entire area was flooded and filled with sediment by that river. Whole place must have been flooded out. It looks like they use excavators to flatten all this out again. Here's some more erosion damage here leading up to this really big culvert pipe. Smells really good of fresh pine. Gotta be careful here. Got some type of utility line here. Guardrail posts completely out of the ground. We finally found those cows that are in the road. We finally made it to some cows.